Alright, what up, guys? So, I'm still a little bit under the weather, but we're gonna go ahead and put out our opinion on Season 7 because it seems about that time. It's been out for a week today, I think. Funny thing, I actually thought it didn't come out until the 30th, and then the 21st came around and it released, and I was like, oh. And I don't know why I had the 30th in my brain, I just did. Um, but anyway, yeah, let's just get into it here. We'll go over pretty much all the different mechanics of Season 7, and then I guess a couple of overall views of the game itself. Now that like Spiritborn isn't super busted, the Druid is apparently busted. Let it be noted that I haven't even made a Cataclysm build. Okay. Um, but anyway, let's just get into it. So I said this during my opening video about the early review, about the early game, and I'm gonna say it now. I do not like this whole um, like doing whispers thing in the whisper zones. I am not a huge fan of it. It is really boring, really repetitive, and that's saying something because the whole game's repetitive, but just something about it is extra repetitive, extra boring, and I don't want to run around and do it. It's really good for like leveling in the early game, but and it's not too bad where I'm at right now, which is 187, but it is just not very fun in my opinion. What else could they've done differently? I don't know. I like the roots, right? The little things that you do and getting your stuff doing that. But the problem is you don't really get the keys a whole lot. I think 1 in 10 of my whisper caches ends up having something for the root hold thing in it. Um, it's not super fun, but it's not. I don't know. It's just not. You just run through it real quick, right? Like it's not. It's not boring and grindy. It's just basic, right? That's what I like about that, but it's not like great or anything to me. It's just better than running around and doing a bunch of whispers. It's pretty much like doing Hell Tides, but worse somehow. I guess because like whenever you're doing Hell Tide, you could just mindlessly farm it if you want to, right? Like you don't have to really think about it. But to open up my map, check what I'm doing. I have to go turn in my whispers constantly, which that on its own is very annoying. Just having to stop, go turn it in, and go back to doing what I was doing. Interacting with other players. I don't know. I'm a solo guy. I don't like. Um, it's not super interactive with other players, but I don't know, doing Hell Tides, you kind of just run around and do your own thing, right? And occasionally you see a person, unless you're farming Caldora or whatever. But I'll be trying to do the patrol thing, and somebody will come over there, and my screen I won't be able to see anything because they're that blood necromancer that I was gonna do, or they're the blood tide one, and it's just like taking up the whole screen. Like, I only have an 8700 processor, so things just kind of lag whenever people are around me sometimes. Just stuff like that. I'm not really a huge fan of it. And while we're still talking about season mechanics, it is way too grindy to get the occult gems, in my opinion. Um, if you go to the lady here, I'm just sitting here anyway, so I just won't put any overlay over this. Um, it takes way too many materials to craft stuff. Um, I don't even want to think about how much work I have to do to get to this. And right now I am only sitting in World Tier 3. I can handle World Tier 4, but I do get a randomly one shot sometimes because I'm just playing Shred and I don't have a lot of survival stuff. So instead of getting one shot, I just stick around in Torment 3, but I can do Torment 4 and kill stuff. I just can't live. But anyway, yeah, just do it. The occult gems, they're just too much. And as far as the powers themselves, they're not they're not bad. I like the idea of the powers. I loved they're essentially like vampiric powers from season 2. I like that. But because of how hard it is to get this restless rot saved up, I don't know. It just kind of plays into it. You got to level these up. This part is not as bad as the other parts, but it is a little annoying because you need 1,000 rot to make a crappy little gem, and then you gotta need more to make all this. And I think the gem fragments are actually the more annoying part to me. Um, yeah, 50,000 gem fragments, which I know that later in the game, I ended last season and I quit like a month in with like 300,000 spare gem fragments or something like that. Uh, but in the early game, when you just want to get these, it's super annoying. And even now, it's just like, I don't know. And it makes it hard to do multiple builds or to switch builds because a lot of the builds need different ones, at least here on the the druid, there isn't like a like in other seasons. There's been kind of like a universal good items, right, or good seasonal powers or whatever. But this season, like the shred druid and the catalyst druid, just complete opposites, right? Um, yeah. So we're talking about the gyms again. We're not meant to talk about that. The powers themselves are fine. They're just fine. They're not great, but they're good. I'm using unoptimal ones, but they're good. So here's one thing that severely bothers me about this season. And usually this would be a good thing, right? Like, oh, there's so much to do. But it feels like there is too much to do. You need to do Infernal Hordes or Nightmare Dungeons to get the little things to upgrade at the blacksmith. You gotta level up your glyphs in the pit, right? You gotta farm the whispers, and you need fugitive heads, and you need gem fragments, and you need the occult shit. What is it called? The seasonal currency. You guys know what I'm saying. Um, you need to just do so much, and it's just I don't know. Infernal Hordes I think is boring. Um, the pit gets pretty boring too. I miss Nightmare Dungeons. I don't know why. I felt like they were different, but I don't know. I didn't have a problem just running tier 100 Nightmare Dungeons over and over and over again. But for some reason, like at a certain point, I'm kind of over the pit and Infernal Hordes. Um, what else you need to do? Oh, you need to farm bosses so you can get your uber uniques or your targeted uniques. You need to do the season pass thing, not the actual pass itself, but the seasonal journey. Um, there's just a lot. I think it's a little too much, in my opinion. So this isn't anything to do with seasonal mechanics, but just in general, I have an issue with the lack of build diversity. And you would think that looking at this chart, it looks really diversive. But this stuff down here doesn't do much compared to this stuff up here. I haven't looked much into how good the Rain of Arrows is. I know the Bone Spear is really good because I was making it work pretty well during the PTR. But I don't know, once you get down here, things get a lot worse. And if you look at this, Sork only has Firebolt, which is really boring. And then here we are here. Mighty Throw Barb, that's fun, but Whirlwind is hella boring. The Earthquake Druid is essentially just a Hoda Barb with the chest piece on, and you put some stuff into Earthquakes, but it's like, it's, you know, similar. But Hoda's all the way down here in B tier, and once you're down in B tier, like, even doing anything in World Tier 4 is annoying. The Spiritborn got freaking nerfed into the ground. Well, it didn't get nerfed. They fixed the bugs, and we realized how bad it sucks. Okay. I still want to make a Crushing Hand Spiritborn again, though, and I just want to make it good. Yeah. Look at this, though. Druid's on top this season, at least. There's a first for everything, you know? I don't know. Necro is really complicated. You know, Shred feels like it should be better, but it's not. Hurricane Druid is just a worse Cataclysm. Boulder Druid is fun, but it's essentially just Ball Lightning, you know? You think about it. And they added 2 Ball Lightning uniques, and yet Ball Lightning is a C tier. And I know that the max roll list isn't necessarily set in stone because you can make things better. Some things can be made better than they make it out to be, but it's a good generalization, right? I don't like this part. I feel like all builds should be here, and then there's a couple that are here, right? Like why maybe not even some of these basic skills, yeah, because they added new things like that sword or whatever a few seasons ago, right? But nothing should be this useless. Why is Rakes so useless? It's a core skill. Why is Ball Lightning so useless? It's a core and mastery skill. Why is Blizzard so useless? Why is Razor Wing so useless? Like, why is it in the game if it's going to be unusable, essentially? I think that's what bothers me the most, is not that some builds are better than others, but if anything is not at least here in this A tier, it's just unusable. They nerfed the Purveyor, if I could English right. I've only gotten a couple hundred on here at a time, but I don't ever get oranges, and I definitely don't get ancestrals with it anymore. So doing that's useless. I like gambling, but like this is too much. Like I like gambling with the possibility of winning, not just like completely useless. And I'm on my map here. The little undercity things here, it's fine, but like it's just kind of there. I I hate this. I hate that these strongholds exist. I understand they're not a huge deal, but like, just let me teleport places. Just let me keep all my waypoints. I don't want to go around and get them again. Um, yeah, let's see. They have all of these little whispers out in the middle of nowhere that don't matter, that you're never going to touch. Um, and I don't know. I wish they would just bring back nightmare dungeons and make them interesting again. Okay, I forgot that the raid was even a thing. The den, not the den, sorry. Shit, I don't have it unlocked yet. That's how much I don't care. It just says this, the Dark Citadel. There we go. I just don't care about doing it. Um, yeah, they didn't add the ladder system back in. They were supposed to do that. What's the point in making a really good character if you can't compete with it and get to like top of the leaderboards or something? I know not everybody cared about that, but that, that was interesting. At least it was a leaderboard to compete with, right? We're still stuck on 5 Paragon boards, so build diversity is weak. There's just a lot about the game that I don't know. As much as I've loved seasons 0 through 6, like I cannot get into season 7 for some reason. Like I could sit here all day and play previous seasons, but I sit down for an hour and I would, I have issues looking at screens for a long time. It makes me really tired. It causes me a lot of pain. But usually it was so fun that I could just deal with it. But now I'm just like, oh, shit, if I just like get off here and go lay down and go to the gym or play with my kiddo, I'll feel better. And those things are things I need to do anyway. And I had a good balance before. It wasn't like I literally sat here all day and just didn't do any of those things. But like, I don't know, I just don't come into this world and have fun this season. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else to complain about. And I don't think there is. It's just really bad, okay? Bad. But I think that is it for this video. If you guys disagree with me and you really like the season, this was good, changing this, adding all this crap. Oh, the Covenant's favor. You have to do the whispers to get it. Automatically makes it annoying. Anyway, thank you guys for... Ooh. I know I'm about to do an outro. It's really, for some reason, it feels really difficult to find the ruins this season compared to last season. Anyway, the ruins. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I don't know when that's going to be. I'm going to try to do some Diablo stuff because that is what my whole channel's been about, and it's what's paid my gym bill and all that for the last couple months. But, like, it's not fun, man, I don't know what to tell you. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all the generic YouTube stuff.